Welcome back to Money Talks. Good morning, Buffalo. Mike Lomas, Glenn Wiggle. We are the financial guys, and this is the place where money meets politics. We do manage money for a living, but I have a lot of fun with this show. Keep in touch with us. News Radio 930 WBEN every Saturday, 1 to 3. We are going to be making some programming changes here on Channel 7 in the next few weeks with the financial guys, and so tune into News Radio 930 every Saturday. We've been there 20 years. To keep abreast of where we're moving and what we're doing. Okay, today's show we are gonna talk a little bit of money throughout the show. We're actually also going to talk Medicare, and we've got Elizabeth Clayson in studio with Rochelle Tadaro, who's actually going to interview Elizabeth on if you're turning 65 and some of the things you should be doing with your Medicare. We will talk money. I want to talk about a lot of volatility in the stock market over the last few months. And I think it's really important that we address, a plan and how we would, what we're doing with our clients, because I think it'll help. Week in review. Donald Trump, big speech the other night, State of the Union speech. Some of the things I came out of it, which I thought were absolutely hilarious. One is Nancy Pelosi's reaction to things like low unemployment rates. I don't know, she seemed to have a hard time trying to decide whether she was going to cry, laugh, stand up and cheer, clap. What I couldn't understand is why you wouldn't clap when Donald Trump was talking about the fact that the black unemployment rate is at an all-time low. The Hispanic unemployment rate is at an all-time low. We have 5 million people over the last 2 years, 5 million that have stepped away and walked away from food stamps. That's a big deal to me. That is winning, and I like that. And again, the funniest thing was her not trying to be able to figure out whether she should laugh, cry, smile. But good for Donald Trump, hitting on some big points. Bad news, Ingersoll Rand this week, moving out of Western New York and moving to Carolina. And that is a common theme in this community. It's really a common theme in this state. Andrew Cuomo came out earlier this week with his budget. We have a shortfall of $2.8 billion. Now, we have a budget, folks, in this state that is two times the size of the state of Florida, yet they have half the people. And even with a budget twice the size, we're still $2.8 billion short this year. That, to me, is alarming. Now, one of the things Andrew said this week, which I actually agreed with, is he said we cannot continue to tax the rich. And Andrew, for the first time, you and I, buddy, are on the same page. Why is that? Well, it's because we continue to increase taxes and they continue to move away. And he figured that out. But yet the second half of his statement didn't make any sense. He said, well, we can't cut the taxes for them. We can't lower the taxes for taxpayers because then we'd have an even bigger problem. So let me get this straight. We've been increasing taxes on people for decades. Every single time we do that, more people move away. And the result is the same as it is this year, which is less revenue to New York State. So the answer has always been, let's increase the taxes again, and let's do it all over again, like a hamster on a treadmill or a wheel. Why can't we cut taxes, Andrew? Why can't we just for once cut taxes? Why can't we continue? Why can't we stop doing stupid projects like Solar City? By the way, 2 employees this week I saw on the news coming out and saying that they were producing on certain weeks, by the way, their flagship program, which was this Solar City, this solar roof. There were certain weeks that they produced 0 material for those roofs, 0. On a good week, they did enough to make 4 roofs, not 4,000 roofs, not 40,000 roofs, 0. Andrew, spend less, lower taxes. People will come back. This is a great place to be because the people are awesome. And you have destroyed this state, you and your politician friends, with increasing taxes. We come back, we'll talk more about investment planning. I want to talk about the volatility in the market. And we'll talk about how to react to volatility in the stock market when we come back. Mike Lomas, Glenn Wiggle, Financial Guys, WK. Good morning, Buffalo. Mike Lomas, Financial Guys, with you each and every Saturday. Join it, by the way, tune in every Saturday, 1 to 3, News Radio 930, WBEN. Later today, we've been on radio for 20 years, and we're going to be doing some programming, maybe taking a short little break from Saturday morning TV, but tune into News Radio 930 WBN to find out where we land and what we're doing. Today, this is the place, by the way, Money Meets Politics. A lot of the stuff we talk about, we post to our Facebook page, so make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at FinGuys. And I definitely want to talk a little bit about money. We're going to talk about Medicare as the show progresses here. I want to talk about some tips with the market being as volatile as it has. I do want to talk a little bit about some bad news this week. Ingersoll Rand is moving their headquarters to North Carolina. Say headquarters, but some of their operation in Western New York and operations. And New Era, by the way, has also moved part of their operations out of New York State. That stinks if you are an employee of one of those places. It absolutely stinks. I would ask you, though, to start to question some of the union leadership that has continued to give certain people dollar amounts to represent you as a worker in this state, because clearly if the end goal is for more jobs, that has not been working. And it's time to lower taxes, lower regulations in the state, and start to bring some of those jobs back here. I'm sick and tired of hearing that we've lost jobs to Texas. In this case, we lost jobs to North Carolina. We need to start to win. Let me get back. Let me just talk a little bit briefly before we get into the next segment, which is Medicare, about putting together a solid investment plan. And I grabbed some tips, by the way. Some of these tips from Mr. Bogle, who is the founder of Vanguard. And I think they're good tips to get you through volatile periods in time. And he just passed away recently, a few weeks ago. But he left us with some tips. Number one was have realistic expectations when it comes to managing your money. And I think that's really important, twofold. Number one is you really need to understand what a potential investment or a group of investments can actually earn. I hear people say, I'd like to earn 20% and 15%. Unrealistic if you're putting together a very solid financial plan that is well diversified. You also have to be realistic in understanding that investments are going to go up and down. If you don't want volatility, then you're going to put all your money into something that is conservative, like a savings account or a CD, but you're not going to earn a lot of money. There's no magic investment out there that pays 5% without any types of fluctuation or with any additional risk. Be realistic when it comes to your money. Understanding the importance of estate planning. Now, for those of you who have tuned into this show throughout the last year, you know that we have estate planning attorneys on. We had Roxanne Sorensen on a few weeks ago talking about elder care and passing your money on to the next generation. So many people focus on a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week, and a month-to-month basis on how much money will my investments make? How do I earn an extra 1% or 2%? But yet they forget about things like wills, estate planning, health care proxies. Should I have a trust account? Should I protect some of this money? What happens if I go into an elder care facility or a nursing home, right? So we need to start to focus on not only the building of wealth. Last week we had Esther Goulias on. Esther said, hey, it's not what you make that's important, it's what you keep, right? So you need to start to look at the overall plan and make sure you're protecting your money. Make sure you're passing it on to the loved ones that you want that money to be passed on to. And make sure you're being very proactive and keeping as much of your money as possible, right? Other side of the break, we're going to talk a little bit about Medicare, and some of the women in our office are going to take over the show for a segment. Mike Lomas, Legal Financial Guys. You need us throughout the week, folks, 633-1515. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at FinGuys. Good morning, Western New York. We'll be back.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Money Talks on Channel 7. I am filling in for your host, Mike Lomas. The Financial Girls decided to take over a little bit of the show here, so thanks for tuning in. Normally throughout the week we are the Financial Guys, but for this segment you get the girls. If you need us throughout the week, give us a call at 633-1515. We do manage money for a living, but we also do Medicare. And speaking of Medicare, I have Elizabeth Clayson here with me, another one of the financial gals. Well, Medicare gal, the Medicare gal. So everyone knows open enrollment is a crazy Medicare season from October to December.
Yes.
But it doesn't stop there.
No, it doesn't, because people are turning 65 every single day.
Right.
So the people that we're talking to right now are either turning 65 or they're retiring and going off of their employer plan, or there are people who are eligible who are not 65 who may be on Social Security disability, different things like that, different qualifications that would have, allow somebody outside of turning 65 be able to go on Medicare.
So in all of these different cases, especially if they are turning 65, do they come in on their 65th birthday? When should they come and give you a call?
No, so we want to see you 3 months before your 65th birthday.
Okay.
And you will have to we have to check a lot of different things. Some people, they come in and they're like, oh, I'm turning 65, and then we find out that their retirement plan with their employer is going to be the best plan for them. So they're all set. We just, wish them good luck and see them on their way. But a lot of people do need to pick a plan and sign up for Part B and figure out what else they've got to do, if they need additional prescription help, things like that. So 3 months beforehand is when you need to start making those appointments.
That's great. Yeah. So you can give the office a call at any time, 633-1515. You know the number, but give Elizabeth a call to make that appointment. So when someone comes in and they're coming in for their first appointment, what should they bring with them?
We always ask them to bring their list of prescriptions, the list of doctors that they see, and any upcoming procedures that they may have. The reason that we need to see all of that information is so that we can help select a plan that's going to cover everything.
Right.
So if they're on a prescription that costs $900 a month, we don't want to show them a plan that's not going to cover that.
Right.
And they're going to. Yeah, and then if there's a doctor they've been seeing for 20 years and they're comfortable with that person, we don't want to get them outside. We don't want to pick a plan that's going to be outside their network.
Absolutely, and I've heard you talk a lot about the snowbirds. So if they head to Florida, you have to make sure you let you know that, because you want to make sure you're covered.
Yeah, because some plans are regional, so we want to make sure that they're going to be covered if they're in Florida and they have, catastrophic things are, different, but if they need to see their doctor in Florida or something, we need to know that. Absolutely. So that we can make sure that that's covered as well.
That's so important. So I wanted to touch on real quick, so our offices are on Spindrift Drive in Williamsville, but you do have a team member now that can really reach those folks that are in the South Towns.
Yes, so me and Mike and Chris have been trying to coordinate and organize this for a while now, and we're very excited that we are going to be getting the keys and unlocking the doors to an office in Fredonia. So anybody that maybe doesn't want to make the trip all the way into Williamsville to meet with an agent. Yeah. Now we have an office in Fredonia where you can meet with an agent and discuss the Medicare information.
And they can still call the same number,
yes.
Call us at the Financial Guys number just to make an appointment,
yes.
even though they're going to the Fredonia office?
Yes, you will still get me, and I will make the arrangements.
Awesome, that's wonderful. So Medicare Monday is back. We had a big push for Medicare Monday during the annual enrollment period. We kind of tested it out and it was really successful. So what do we have coming up? It starts right away, right?
Yeah, so Medicare Monday, we thought that we would shut it off, after the first of the year and just wait until enrollment period again to have it. But I got so many calls afterwards, people saying, when's the next seminar? When can I come in? So we decided to go ahead and kick it off again in February. So we just had our first one for the year.
Awesome.
On the 4th, and the next one is going to be the 25th at 5 o'clock, because a lot of people are still working, so they can't make a noon seminar. But it's going to be the first and last Monday of each month at 5 o'clock, and you can register by going to the website.
That's awesome. So you go to thefinancialguys.com and you can click on the TFG Insurance tab, And there'll be a Medicare Monday menu that you could go to, and you could choose the date that you want. And it'll be always at 5 o'clock. And if something else happens, I'm sure that they will, you know, if they add a time slot, that'll be made available on the website as well. Or you can always call us at 633-1515 to get that going. So what else? So being that we're a one-stop shop, people can come in for their financial planning. Is it easy to coordinate their Medicare appointment along with their, you know, financial appointment, or if they want to see, you know, one of our attorneys for the estate planning?
Absolutely. A lot of times somebody will call me and say, I need a Medicare appointment, but I also need a financial appointment.
Yes.
So you know, we book them and I speak with you, or I speak with Sue, and we make that coordination. We had somebody in today who came in to get their Medicare set up, and then they walked over to the other side of the office to get their financial planning taken care of. And you can plan your life there, you know. You walk in and you can take care of everything from college to Medicare to you name it, and we've got it.
Absolutely. We're a one-stop shop, and we like to offer those services to our clients. That's all we have here with Elizabeth today, but on the other side of the break, it'll be Mike Lomas back in the hot seat here. And if you need us throughout the week, folks, 633-1515.
Good morning, Buffalo. Mike Lomas, Glen Legal Financial Guys. I'm back. The financial gals kicked me out for a segment. Great job. Of course, if you need our help throughout the week, whether it's Medicare, retirement planning, estate planning, 633-1515. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at FinGuys. Before the break, I was talking a little bit, and we'll get to Rochelle Tadaro here, by the way, joining me for your 2 cents. I don't know why we didn't do your video clip, but that's okay. You were here, so we just said forget it. But I definitely wanted to have you talk a little bit about, you know, some of the workshops we have upcoming and what's going on at TFG Academy. Absolutely. I did want to wrap up the segment before. I was talking about some of the volatility in the stock market and investing and what to look for. I want you to look at a few things. Number one, earnings have been good. And that's a good thing, right? That's not a bad thing. Earnings have been good. Look at price versus value, right? It was some of the greatest investors out there. Warren Buffett always talked about having a value investment portfolio. Look for the values out there. The Fed is going to lead the direction of the stock market going into 2019. Do they go back to increasing interest rates? I'll tell you, there's one thing that's happening. President Trump talked about it the other night. The United States of America is leading the way right now. We are growing. We have great GDP rates, in excess of 3%. The rest of the world is slowing. China at a 30-year low as far as growth rates go. So we are leading the way. That's a good thing. But look at the Fed. Is the Fed going to decrease rates? I don't think the market wants them to increase rates. I think the best thing would be for them to hold steady. The other thing is this war on trade, and make sure you keep an eye on what's going to happen with China. Trump is fighting very hard for fair trade deals, and I agree with him on that. He's fighting to lower the barrier for us to do business overseas. That's a good thing. China, with its slowing economy, is now saying, Mr. Trump, Donald, we're willing to talk to you. And that's a good thing as well. But keep your eye out on trade and the Fed, and it will show you the path, by the way, to 2019 stock market performance. In studio again, Rochelle Tadaro. Rochelle, tell us what's going on. TFG Academy.
We always. Do
you want me to do your 2 cents? Oh, they have the 2 cents on the screen.
I'll look at.
I would sing it, but then then we'd have people out here outside of Channel 7, autographs, the whole deal.
Right.
And then my career goes in a totally different direction, and nobody wants that, right?
We're trying to keep you where you are.
Yeah.
We can't let them see what a rock star you are.
We want me at Spindrift, The last thing we need is, Mike Lomas turning into Freddie Mercury and being global.
I know. I know.
Right here in Western New York.
It's a struggle, really, to keep you
grounded.
It is a struggle.
It is a struggle. So I'm just not going to sing. We're just not going to start the whole ball rolling in that direction.
Right.
Tell us about what's going on at TFG Academy.
Well, TFG Academy is not Mike Lomas's, performance. He doesn't, come in and sing to you every other Wednesday at noon. It's actually educational.
I'm telling you, if I did, we would fill that room every time.
I'm pretty sure we would.
I think we would. That's not a challenge, right? Because then I won't have to do it.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyways. So every other Wednesday or so, right at our offices at Spindrift, we have an educational workshop. they've been such a hit. People truly appreciate us, giving these open to the public, open to our clients, complimentary workshops on all the things all the services we offer and beyond. The next one we have coming up is at the end of February on the 20th. It's actually pre-matrimonial planning. Ron Reinstein in our office, he's going to go over all those things you need to be aware of and some of the arrangements you might want to make before moving into marriage.
That's a great point. I don't know how we're doing on time here, but it's when you're getting married, you're going through all the great times, right? But you start to forget about some of the things that you really should be doing, whether it's a will or a healthcare proxy, or you have a joint life together. You have changing bank accounts and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's it's one income going into two incomes, so it's a big deal. So you can go to the website and sign up for that. Also, along with the other educational workshops we're doing, we have Roxanne Sorensen, who's been on the show a couple times. She's doing a series of elder care guidance workshops. So it's not just elder care, but it's elder law.
Hold that thought. We're at 30 seconds out, but to your point, look, you got a loved one going in a nursing home. You need to go to our website, sign up for this.
Yes, please do.
TheFinancialGuys.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. God bless Western New York. We'll see you next week, 1 to 3 later today, News Radio 930 WBEN.